Ladies and gentlemen, SparksOpus here. This is one of those episodes that I wanted to do ever since I even started doing YouTube, if not even before that. And I couldn't be more excited to show off this episode, which is unironically just as, if not more exciting to explore than Future Redeemed. A massive thank you to BK Barnes, who made this episode possible in the first place, who makes his fair share of own modified Xenoblade uploads, which are a great watch. Definitely give this channel a try. And of course to all people who worked on the Xeno mods. The link to the mods are available in the description below. A massive spoiler warning here, and once again, lay back, grab some snacks and drinks, and let's travel through the world of all rest, and maybe even further beyond. Let's go. You know how things are going already if you've seen the previous episodes, but Xenoblade 2 is special. It has more than just one title screen. For example, the Leftheria one. Did you know that Rex is actually standing here? I never noticed him before. As a matter of fact, during the title screens, if we remove the blur, the whole world is loaded. And that counts for every single loading screen. Like this one too, for example, in Spirit Crucible Elpis, with the real Aegis sword here inside glowing, I suppose. And everything back here as well. Tantal, same thing. And Uraya with Zeke and Pandoria standing here. But enough of that. Have Rex being pushed away. And would you look at that? He isn't mad in the slightest. As a matter of fact, he has a little smirk in his face, you know, just a smug face. He knows exactly what that means. And boy is he ready for all of that. The game is also janky, so I would like to apologize for that, because I also had to restart the game quite often. But I also was able to capture the world tree, so there you go. Just so you've seen it. I took a good look around Argentum, but couldn't find anything that you normally wouldn't see. Except places you can only find if you grind some really annoying side quests. And this one was actually a rather interesting lore drop on Noppons. If you know, you know. There may be some more areas that don't have many secrets to show, but I still want to provide some great shots in more than just sub 720p, so there you go. The Xenoblade games, and especially 2, deserved better hardware in my opinion. Like also the next 2 areas, for example. I showed off Gormod on the Torna episode, you know, the last one in the series. And overall, the Titan hasn't changed that much, except that the back part is not blocked anymore. And guess what? Gormod doesn't have a tongue in here. It's kinda weird that they added a tongue in the Torna DLC, but whatever. Something that I haven't showed off though, because I've forgotten that I am able to do that, is the cute little footsies that Melnoth has. Like, look at them, aren't they adorable? It is a gorgeous Titan overall, and also kinda crazy that everything is just like laying on his back like that. Besides 2D fishies and an absolutely beautiful night sky, and the world tree and the moon on the back. Honestly, I don't like the moon anymore. But yeah, world tree being a floating 2D image, and the point where you start your journey on the Titan, which is right under his right wing. And man, this reminds me, I wanted to make a video where I talk about my first experience with the Xenoblade. It's still on my to-do list. Though I would like to ask again, would you be interested in such a video? Let me know in the comments. But yeah, I'm just fanboying here a bit. Sorry for that, so moving on. though things won't get better from this point on, you just have to excuse me here. Fonza Mima, dude. Look at that. Look at this whole area. Dude, once again, personally, I'm just so happy that I got to finally explore these areas after all that time. It's just like, look at those beautiful Saffronia trees, man. Xenoblade weep trash my ass. Like, not only uncultured, but also with a bad taste overall, huh? Right, this is how Uraya looks from the outside. Then we also have the front. And the back. And also the world tree just once again up close. Just ending to nothing on top. Behind this massive door is, by the way, you guessed it, nothing. But now you know. And it's the same thing for the castle, which looks almost identical to the one in 3. I went into all the houses and ships and couldn't find anything. Just once again, the world tree looking absolutely gorgeous. Then of course this place, which hasn't anything special to show, but still worth to give you a different perspective on this whole thing. As a matter of fact, since we're here already, I'm not exactly sure why, but flying around here kinda terrified me a bit. Just one plateau and a lot of nothingness, and a lot of floors here, and I mean a lot. And you have those Zonais worlds again, the OGs in here know, but we now know that they weren't involved in Tears of the Kingdom, because the Noppons were the ones that left and took the Triforce with them. Yeah. Mor Ardain, ladies and gentlemen, in its full glory. Maybe it's just my bad memory, but I don't think we ever have seen its face like that before, right? Actually, let's just... yeah, there you go. An even better look at his face, with his unicorn Bionis-like forehead. I also never realized how sick his back looks. I love the colors here. His footsies got cut off, and actually it looks like his arm got ripped off here. It is curious, definitely. Also, beautiful shot here. Believe it or not, but I genuinely spent a lot of time searching for things and also tried my best to provide you with a cool video, so you know, if you enjoyed it thus far, consider a like, share it on social media. Thanks a bunch, folks. I then found Uraya and Genbu in the back, so I took a closer look, passing by both of them, and yeah, that covers both of them. And Mor Ardain. Regarding Temperantia, you can see that it resembles a manta ray, with some of the other titans from Judicium on its back, which are all empty, by the way. When playing with the settings, crossing the barrier and running supersonic towards the horizon, even Sonic ain't that fast, you eventually reach the border, but technically you can still run around without any issues. But then the game crashed. And I got to see them standing together, so here, take a look at the crystal. I like the additional detail they added in the third game to those crystals. And I got carried away with the music. Here's the outside of Genbu, and Tantal without the snowstorm going on. The only place that I really found interesting was this one room right here, since you can't revisit this room, I think. Leftheria, everyone. An absolutely beautiful place. I think I'm repeating myself here again. And you can see the two tubes connecting through the cloud wall here. And actually water being here. Another interesting look may be the inside of those floating islands, which you'd never see normally. Beautiful shots again. Maybe I'll make some use of them, you know, in the future. But let's travel to the next destination. Actually, let's have a look at this place from the side. I wanted to do a cool transition, but it's worth a watch. Spirit Crucible Elpis is a bit less spectacular. So I'll just, you know, show you some shots and, well, move on. We are slowly getting to the good parts. I actually gave the extra effort to visit the one place you can't after finishing the game, that being the Titan of Indol. And once again, you normally don't see his face like that. Behind those massive doors that you can find around this place, you guessed it, there's nothing. Two hidden things I could find were this room being constantly present here, and the one at the very top. That's quite a view now, isn't it? You probably saw the vector logo on KOS-MOS, right? But what about the text here? KOS-MOS refrain XXXX Vector Industry Second Development Room made. And I can't make out the rest of the text. Now, if we go down on the knee, there's more text, but don't ask me what there's written. This one really is blurry. But if you think that this is it, you are mistaken. For this one, I'm actually quite surprised myself. We have to really zoom in for this one. Can you read it? No? Okay. What about the other eye? Vekotr. Dude, I think I actually found a spelling mistake here. That's hilarious, dude. So, Vekotr Industry Product KPX 000000001, I think. Of course, more vector logos here and there. You probably saw the T-ELOS refrain by pure chance. I found the vector logo under her high heels. The only vector logo I saw on her, I think. Cliffs of Morytha are rather unspectacular, but I wanted to show you the area around the world tree, because why not? Also, I will show some cutscenes after I'm done with things in the overworld. Just mentioning that. Now we are slowly getting to the juicy parts. I am presenting you, finally, after all these years, Morytha, after the experiment. I call it ceiling, it looks like the one you'd see in the depths of Tears of the Kingdom. Maybe Monolith's hands were working on that. Now, just like in Xenoblade 3, all of these skyscrapers have multiple floors in them. Were they intended for more exploration? Maybe. Actually, if we travel a bit further, at the very barrier, you have another cloud layer. What if I told you that there is even more hidden? More buildings, more streets, bridges, all under big black fog. And of course I'll use some magic to get rid of all the fog. And let's see. Now it's all over the place and the streets and all of that don't make any sense in some of the places, but you know, here they are. Call me crazy, but that looks like the area you're traveling to in the end of the game, just without the massive tree in the middle. The dragons flying in the background are just 2D images, by the way. The tornado is real though. And beyond this place you normally wouldn't see anything at all. But Morytha actually continues, and technically you can run around here. Because around this place there are a lot of metal plates placed around this whole area. Sometimes even it feels like it was intended, like you were supposed to be here, but it was never finished. And it's quite a solid way from here to go there. All of it is rather interesting, to say the least. Regarding Torna, with it being a bit brighter, you can finally make out its head and how it's just laying overall. But other than that, there isn't much to see here. Same thing around the world tree and inside. It's what you would expect overall, and nothing more than that really. Also, this dude is wild. He has a flute predicting Xenoblade 3, and there's an Opon in Morytha. I know, wild. Then we have of course the world tree itself. Once again, there wasn't anything too fascinating to find here. It is an interesting look from the side of it, with all of these metal tubes just going up or down, depends. And also of course the hole where Amalthus came from. Throwing him back into the hole and just looking where it eventually goes, yeah, that fall probably hurts. So if you manage to do that in your playthrough, congrats. But other than that, yeah, I think we can go straight on to the most important part. My dear viewers, I present to you peak fiction. I wanted to do this so badly for such a long time, and I'm finally here. These gargoyles are the real deal, by the way. No 2D images. And so is the beanstalk, actually. I was traveling fast, dude, and it just continued and continued. Until it eventually stopped. And yes, you can already see that things are about to get better and better. This place is so unbelievably massive, like the walkable area is only 1% at best. The rest is just one massive desert. The elevator from where we arrived, by the way, is cut off. It doesn't exist anymore. I always wondered if there's something behind the blocked highway, but no. And also underneath, not yet. Though wait, there are artifices shooting at all rest. Let's have a closer look. Underneath the sand there are actually quite a few buried ruins, like you would never see them normally. But they are still there. Also, flying a bit around the ruins, it looks like a massive place, until you zoom out and fly to the other side. It is so massive that it doesn't even render all of it. It's like multiple times bigger than any of the titans. It is unironically kinda crazy. Maybe this might be interesting to some of you folks. And we finally arrived at the part I wanted to explore for so long, man. Here's a close-up shot of the black hole or whatever that is supposed to be consuming Klaus. And if you remember, behind Klaus there are windows leading to, you guessed it, the Conduit. In its full glory. Constantly present, powering the whole station. This is how it would look like from here. But if you think that this is it, not quite. You see, right underneath the window, you have the Trinity processor. Zooming in on all of them, they reveal text. I will give you an image with translations in the video. But even that's not it. As a matter of fact, how did Amalthus get to those crystals? There must have been a Huh, a door. And yes, it is an actual door. Thanks to VTech, a member of the DB gang, the community Discord from DB Geek, he took an even closer look at it all, and it seems that they can actually open and close. It was intended to be used. Also, because there is a floor behind that door that leads almost exactly to Klaus, but ends right in front of him, and a black box being right underneath him. Maybe there was supposed to be an elevator or something, I don't know. But to show you even a bit more, what's up with that? I have no clue. But seeing all of that has me definitely curious. Let's go over here, alright? The place where it all started. As a matter of fact, I'm gonna start an experiment myself. But I won't press any buttons or anything like that. I will be selfish and touch this bad boy myself.
And turn into a god. Another life, here I come.
So yeah, this room is over here, just 90 degrees on the other side. There is of course also the final area here, with the final boss room being in the middle. And if you're asking me, that looks like red, green and purple. You may say that it's blue, but I'm slightly colorblind, so leave me with my headcanon here. Right behind Aion is this room with an endless amount of stairs, and the bridge already being broken. Next room we have the escape pods, or none of them, and multiple holes to outer space already. Quite surprised how they survived this one, but you have one single tube that leads outside. And now, let's speedrun the cutscenes, the video's getting quite lengthy here. This is how Rex was living on Gramps. Here's the Titan that was dying. I never saw the 2D birds flying away from the Titan, but there you go. Jin always had a face. The mask isn't exactly part of it. There is no Aegis core crystal on Malos. This is how the ship looks from the side. There isn't anything more to these rooms really, so yeah, that's about it. Future redeemed spoilers incoming. That's how Elysium looked like. And if you're asking me, these houses look like low-res versions of the houses you see in Future Redeemed. And especially after some of these shots, like this one, yeah, they are 1000% the houses you see in Future Redeemed, probably reused and updated in this game. They look identical. Also a low-res church, and it does continue for a while, but there isn't that much more to see. Here you have Ophion approaching like Rayquaza or something, and Uraya having a tasty snack. By the way, it's also great watching these cutscenes without frame drops, this time around. It's really great. Also, I'm probably gonna trigger some people, but boy am I glad to play these games in English. The British voice acting is so Xenoblade to me that Japanese just seems wrong to me. I know, criminal, but it feels like there is something missing, that's all. Wanna see him turning Super Saiyan? And dying from the front. You're welcome. This scene is pre-rendered, by the way, just like the final cutscene. Here you have Torda, how it was supposed to look like in the past. Then there's also the scene where Adam and Laura are fighting each other. This is how the area was looking like back then. And not only that, but how Adam under the hood looked like. At least you can roughly make his face out. As a matter of fact, there is a scene where Rex's mother and father are mentioned and actually shown. If I move the camera around, you can see even more clear the face of Rex's mother. And not only that, but also small Rex in her hands. We have never seen the face of Rex's father. We only saw his dead body just laying by a tree. But, and this feels almost a bit illegal, but if we go with the camera around, we can actually see his face. This is how the father of Rex looked like. Supposedly, right? Also, I wanted to have a better and closer look at the Monado while activated, so, you know, maybe it's just also interesting to use, so have a look here. Also feel free to have a look at this battle sequence between Rex and Jin. And then also, of course, between Ophion and Siren. Here you have an up-close shot of Siren, and according to some indicators, I would argue that Siren is actually female. Who knew, right? Truly fascinating stuff. Actually, she's just T-posing in the middle, but have a look at Siren. It's a sick model. Like, look at that, dude. Now, you may be asking me, SparksOpus, aren't you crossing some boundaries here? Well, yes and yes, which in conclusion means that I won't show you anything. Like, I genuinely won't. I think this will result in me walking a thin line on me getting a either 18+ restriction or demonetization. And I don't feel like any of that, so, especially after I put so much effort into this video, so... Though, maybe I can show you. Here you have the... I have forgotten the ship's name, but you know, the one from the villains. Here is Laura, Malos's core crystal, the second healing station with an interesting design inside. And the room in the back here. Nothing crazy. The place where the refugees are. This one is, by the way, also pre-rendered. And this one. And guess what? Yes, in color. On the left side you have that thing. I see more and more of these blue circles in Xenoblade, dude. This... I don't know, but yes, there you have the space station, ladies and gentlemen. And no, there isn't anything inside. At least for now. Well, not exactly, but this scene is happening technically inside there, but it's just a box now. The character model's work is once again truly fascinating in multiple ways. Unfortunately though, it ends here. The rest is pre-rendered. And that was it. I am so incredibly happy that I got this episode out there and was able to share all these infos with people interested in these games. I hope that it was also entertaining and that you had a good time with this one. Thank you all very much for watching. I wish you all a fantastic rest of your day. Stay positive, and I'll see you again very soon. Bye guys. Have a good one.